They say blood runs thicker than water. But out here, water feeds the crops, and everyone wants more than their share. Welcome to Episode 2, The Boundary Line.
Well, our first harvest back home is officially done. I don't think it's gonna make us rich, but the yield went better than I thought it would. We had a couple issues, some things to navigate, but we got it done. That's kind of the important thing, right? Now, when I say we had issues, I talk about how this land has its ways. And I'm a little worried. The land that Josie approached us about and told us belonged to their farm, and that my father moved the stakes and took it, is right here. Out of our 4 fields, this is the one that did not take. It's probably the best looking field of all, up until right before harvest. It looks like it's been burned out. Almost like it was given a good chemical burn. From reading some of the notes, this is not the first time this has happened. Is it the soil? I don't know. But luckily we've had some help from Frank. He's got his guys doing some contracts elsewhere, and knowing our predicament, he said he could come help out. He couldn't bring any of his own equipment, but he was willing to help us out with the equipment he had. So we were able to get the John Deere up and running. Found the key. Never guessed where that was. Yep, it was sitting on the fuel canister over there. So we'll unload this, and I think this is going to put us at a pretty decent amount. Pop out of here. 118,000 liters of barley between these 3 fields. We've done pretty well, if you ask me. We'll get some tillage done. I think over there. Get that all turned over. This should all be able to be no-till after. So that's kind of my plan there. And hope that it all, aligns for us. Really like to get some data on the land as well to help understand why did that field not work. Why did we fall short there? I think the other thing we need to do this month is we need to really take a look at the boundary lines. Frank mentioned one of his guys has a drone that we could use to kind of fly around and digitally map everything out as well. I think I might grab a metal detector and just kind of walk the lines that, have been drawn out on both maps that I've heard about. Josie says she's bringing over a copy of the one she has all the way back from 94, when the last land changes were done out here. So we'll just have to kind of play it by ear. But I think what I'm going to do is go take over Frank right now. And then maybe later tonight, after I have a nice meal, probably get to turning that soil over. Well, we have a problem. Here we are in the middle of September. We were able to get a harvest out of the way. It wasn't much. but it wasn't terrible either. It's enough to feel like the line was listening again, even if someone else was too. Because our lines were cut this morning, as you can see right there. That one's no longer connected. I got a plug on it because it was leaking. We're not unable to fire up the international. And the problem is our John Deere also doesn't have enough power for us to work that field. But then you come in here, right? Notice something missing? Yep. Just when I thought we had this baby up and running, we're missing a component on the front now. You can kind of see right there the snipped hose that runs through. Yeah. So even though it's still under power, I was hoping maybe we could try and get by. We're going to have to give the sheriff a call and kind of have the conversation. So let's ring him up right now. Hey, Sheriff, it's Cal.
Morning, Cal.
Yeah, I'm calling because I just tried to get an early morning start on turning over that field that looks like it was chemically burned, which is a whole nother issue to itself. I'm a little concerned that somebody's trying to completely sabotage me here.
I will send a deputy over. Happens a lot when old fences move. People get territorial.
Yeah, that'd be great if you or a deputy could head over and just take a couple pictures of this. I'll take some pictures too, but I'm going to have to try to get one of these up and running. See if maybe Frank can help me out with part collection or something.
Glad Frank can help you out for now.
Yeah, I plan on looking at Josie's map later today and comparing it with a drone. One of Frank's employees has a drone it can use to map out from above and kind of make sure within the lines. And I'm going to go out with a metal detector later, I think.
Let me know what you find. Might be able to help Josie back off a bit during your busy season.
Thank you, Sheriff. I'll see you later.
Take care, Cal.
So that's a setback we weren't planning on. I guess we're not going to get started on stuff today because we definitely can't start planning until we have this in, which is very unfortunate. If you know, you know, right? Yeah, so I guess for right now, we'll kind of just look over the map and take it from there. And I'll just show you guys the boundary lines compared to what Josie's saying are the boundary lines, or were the boundary lines. A lot of hypotheticals on the table. So let's go take a look at that while we wait for our parts to come in. So looking at these property lines, you kind of see, like, you know, none of this stuff that she has, which I have hers in, you know, the green line and mine in the red line, none of it really is an issue down here on 3 and 2. Field 10, still the same. But it's like we took off a big chunk right here just above the 11 on field 11. She's saying all that was timber and sage ranch over at the Grangers. And it's just weird to me that this field is the one that looks like it has chemical burning. We weren't able to harvest. Now we got to turn it all over. Just something for us to think about. Like I said, we're going to take a metal detector out there and run above that. And I think the other thing we can look at too is, you know, get an actual drone out there and just kind of fly over and kind of see anything. I guess I'm not going to be able to get the drone until probably late in the day. So we'll have to wait on that, but we'll go out there with a metal detector shortly. So right now we got the metal detector in hand. Like I said, kind of got a line point where to start. We know it's just above the field number. And it's kind of right there. Interesting enough, there's like a row in here. So I know it's right there, but what I want to check first is our actual property line right here. Which I don't understand because it kind of drops down in the valley here, but the land is like split. I feel like if their field is closer. Our line is right here, almost to the edge of the field. Let's see. Oh. Ping. 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 Well, that was what, 4 in a row? Saying there's markers there now. So I'm pretty confident if we walk down here and stay on this line that we're supposed to be on. And let's turn this back on. Ping. Ping. So definitely there's definitely markers there now. Which kind of defeats what Josie's saying. I know we're out here kind of early working this out. Just kind of says right here should be the marker. I'm not getting anything. I'll just keep working through this. Ping. What? And it's not growing there, which is common with these markers. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Did we miss something? Ping. Uh-oh. This is not good. Why were these markers moved? Or why are these markers not being... How did markers end up over there? There's markers in here still. See if we get any more. Why would he have moved these lines? I don't understand. You know, because it just doesn't add up. You know, the fences and markers are kind of funny. Ping. There's another one. But their fences are kind of funny because they're supposed to keep the world out, right? But all they really do is hide the truth inside. Which is... I'm very confused right now. What is going on? What is this hiding? Why? How did he gain... I mean, as far back as I can remember, I thought we always went to the end of this. And now I'm finding markers in here. Just enough to kind of leave an old boundary line. Ping. Oh no. That's not good. Keep checking here. That's it. So he dug up the edges, but he left the center ones. Or somebody, I mean, maybe my father didn't do this, but somebody has. Why are they trying to hide it like that? Something's not right. He had an old ledger I remember as a kid seeing. That's how he knew where exactly everything was. But it wasn't in the house. It wasn't turned over the will. It wasn't turned over with any of his items. The sheriff, the lawyers, none of them had that ledger. We need to find that ledger. It's just weird that that's missing, and now all this stuff's being disputed. And maybe it was being disputed before, like the sheriff said, but there's just a lot of weird stuff going on. This barley being no good, both of my work tractors having lines damaged. Hopefully Frank gets here soon. We get that fixed, get that stuff running. Would love to get some planning done. It's just weird. I mean, some things break from age. Others, though, seem to get helped along. So we're up and running, finally. Big thanks to Frank. Getting these set up. We're gonna get out here and start working this field. Kind of taking it from there. Like I said, just a lot of... Drop right across here. A lot of odd things this morning. Obviously, I gotta figure out. I've seen Josie kind of over there just observing. I'm a little worried about that, to be honest with you. Should have enough power to cultivate this over. No-till the rest. But we've got to definitely turn this all over. It's just weird to me, like I said, everything going out here. And, finding some markers out here is a bit worrisome. I'm hoping once we get that drone later, kind of do a flyover and kind of see where everything really sits and if there's anything we can see out there. Just kind of work through it, Probably don't need to fold this up, but we will. We'll get moved over and start working those other 3 fields now that this is planted. Should have probably did some precision soil test on this land. I did not. But that's on... Oh no. Here comes Josie. Wonder what could happen here.
Hi, Cal.
Hi, Josie.
Did you find time to review those boundary lines I dropped off on your steps?
I've looked over some of the boundary lines. They don't line up with each other.
That map was from '94. No updates had been made since with the county.
I could not tell you when that map that I have was updated, but it came from the county, so I'd assume that's the most updated one.
I do not get why you want to keep this land. Crops keep dying on it.
I want to keep this land because what the county sent me says it is our land. And I'll work around the crops that are failing.
Would love to know when your map was made and who signed off on it. Out of respect for your loss, I will give you 1 month to sort this out.
As I said, this must be the most updated map to my knowledge because this is what the county gave me, so I'm not sure why the county hasn't given you the one they gave me. I don't know if we need to wait a month to sort this out because I think it's already sorted.
Take care now.
You have a good day as well. Well, that makes things a little interesting. seemed very confident that this land will never work unless she's running it again. Might want to share that with the sheriff after. But we'll get to playing this, and then I believe Frank said one of his guys is coming over with a drone in a little bit. So hopefully we can get a field or two done before then. Looks like the seed usage wasn't too bad. We'll just jump right in over here and get to no-tilling. Get this opened right up. There we go. Oh no. Is it not gonna let me no-till? Looks like it's working. Been a while since I've done this. I want to make sure we're doing it right here. Crop tape. Tell me barley. We'll have to go in and look. And see, I see growing. That's good, so we're good there. So yeah, we'll get to working on this until we get the drone, and then see where we're at. On our first planting done, we don't have anything to roll these in and really pack the beds. So for now, we'll just keep trucking along. Hopefully hear something back from the sheriff too on what we can do insurance-wise. So we got the drone. We're flying around. I'm not seeing any distinctive changes to the land. All's looking pretty good. I mean, looking around here, I don't see anything that says that should be really having issues with that crop. I mean, their cows kind of have a weird drainage situation, but it doesn't go there. It goes over another field here. But all looks pretty good. I'm not seeing anything that stands out. I mean, it's worth a look. Everything looks like it's lining up. Yeah, everything's on spot. We have our drainage there. That road's been closed for a while. They said, I think it's a couple of years. Whoa, what's that? Zoom down here. Why is there... Whoa, somebody living back here? Wait a second. Whoa, 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 whoa. Something's a little off. Let's bring this drone back and go investigate what that is in there. So we'll hop in the truck and we'll drive down there. It's just a little odd to me. Just doesn't make sense. Why did I not know about that before? I can go right around this sign. Try to figure out what that is. Got to walk here. Just through the ditch. Pretty dry right now. Probably should have called the sheriff. But again, I'm wondering what's going on. There was a note one time I saw somewhere. Out here, fences don't just keep cattle in, they keep the truth buried. I think I just dug up the first piece. What is this? Rice? Looks like somebody had been living here for a while. Oh, it's locked on the inside as well. I don't get it. This is interesting. We'll have to figure this out. Might have some tools I can bust that open. Oh, it never ends. It just keeps getting weirder and weirder.